What could it be now? What can it be now? What can it be now? What can it be now? This is an old song. It's called Who Can It Be Now? It's from the Man at Work. We did a music video to it once. We also did Rihanna. Also did, what was that Eminem song? Damn, I don't know. We've done quite a few music videos here at Poppin Productions. Actually, back then it was called Jermaine Higgins Presents. So, in case that's confusing, don't worry, it confuses me too. There we go. Welcome back to Popcorn Poppin' Live. I am your ultimate movie and TV streaming guru, the Popcorn Poppy. There's too much content in the world and you can't be wasting your time. So let me waste my time for you by watching all that looks vaguely interesting in everything cinema and let you know what's poppin' and what ain't. Tonight, we'll be rating the recently released films like Eddington, I Know What You Did Last Summer 3. It's not just I Know What You Did Last Summer. They did that weird Scream thing that Scream made a joke about and mentioned. It's super weird when a fourth movie comes out and they just take out the number or take out a subtitle and just act like it's the first one. But it isn't. It's I Know What You Did Last Summer 3. We'll also be talking about Happy Gilmore 2 and Fantastic Four First Steps. A lot of numbers. Only one original film of the spotlight films this evening. We'll also be talking about shows like Untamed and the newest episode of South Park. We'll discuss new projects coming out this week, where to watch them, and give them some poppin' projections as well, along with what's coming out in September, because you guessed it, we're here at the season finale. We're going to be taking a little break after tonight's episode. That way we can get ready for the next installment of Popcorn Spookin' Season 2. It's happening, folks. But first, let's dive into the latest news from Tinseltown right after I introduce you to our special guest, Popcorn Zitty. Yeah. Hey, Popcorn Zitty. Yeah. I just want to make sure everyone knew that I knew, yes, there's a giant zit on my face, and this is why I didn't want to do tonight's episode, but the show must go on even if it is 45 minutes late, okay? Okay, that sounds good. Are you going to see your dermatologist soon? I promise you I will, because I've never felt so self-conscious besides every time I've had acne. Haven't you had acne all of your life and you just always looked like this? In fact, you used to look worse, and now you're feeling self-conscious because it's matching the drapes behind you? The redness of me is matching the drapes behind you. Even your whole layout here and the graphic. Yes, thank you, Zitty. I appreciate it. Let's go right into the news. Before we get into the news, let me remind you that all reviews and opinions are of the Popcorn Poppy, which is me, and I can be wrong about everything. I may say something is bad. That doesn't mean it's truly bad. I may say something is good. Doesn't mean it is factually good. I have done a lot of acting. I have made short films. I have made sketches. I've worked on films. And I've done a lot of theater, and I've watched a shit ton. I have no life. And that is why I think my opinion is somewhat validated, I guess. Plus, a lot of people that I give my opinions to that know me do tend to agree with the opinions that I give them. Even if they at first disagree, they're like, oh, I never saw it like that. Maybe I'll watch it again. Then they'll come back up to me later and go, you know what? Popcorn Poppy, you had a point there. So, know that. Also, thank you to the interweb sources of Deadline, THR, Variety, and others. We're going to be starting with news of Meet the Parents 4, which has been already released as Ariana Grande in Meet the Parents 4. All of the original cast will be returning, including a young Ariana Grande, and it is officially titled Focker-in-Law, and I believe she is the Focker-in-Law. Not positive, just taking a guess. Also, we're going to get into some Marvel news before we jump into Fantastic Four. They have had I think Deadline had an interview with Kevin Feige or Fiji. Someone tell me if I'm right or wrong, because I don't know how to pronounce his name. But he totally and absolutely finally told us that X-Men is being worked on. We already knew that, but we now know that there isn't even a script yet. And in fact, they hired Jake Schreier, sorry, mispronouncing your name, who helmed Thunderbolts to work on the script. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the director, but it does mean that he is going to be the one to kickstart things. Kevin also revealed this week that while there were 4 versions of Blade in the works, two of them, remember Blade, okay? Mahershala Ali is supposed to still play Blade, and we have had a lot of pushbacks from the date. He revealed that there were actually 4 versions of them. 2 of them were set in the 30s, and 2 of them were periods, and 1 of them was set in the 30s. We have landed on modern day, and that's what we're focusing on. Previously, Jake Schreier, who is doing the X-Men film, worked on Paper Towns, episodes of Beef, Robot and Frank, and a lot of episodes of Kidding as well. So hopefully he'll be able to do good work. Meanwhile, on the DC side of things, oh, no, we're not talking about that yet. We're not talking about any of these yet. Well, fuck it. We might as well talk about them. So what are we expecting to see after Fantastic Four? I will tell you. We have a few things. Sorry, I have fucked up everything. So, Jake Schreier is going to be working on the script of X-Men, right? Correct. So since he is, what's going to be after Fantastic Four? I think I told you guys that the next movie was Avengers Doomsday. That is not correct. The actual next movie that's going to happen is Spider-Man Brand New Day, which will be released next year, July 31st. After that is when we'll be getting Avengers Doomsday, which comes out December 18th of next year. And in between that, we have an untitled Marvel movie. No one knows what it is, but that'll be released on July 23rd. Granted, we've had a lot of pushbacks recently, and this doesn't actually necessarily mean we are going to get a movie on July 23rd in 2027. But I find it interesting that there is a movie set between the Avengers that I don't think that they reminded us about, at least for a little while. But that is official. We'll see if it still holds up in court. Meanwhile, on the DC side of things, the Supergirl writer Anna Nogueira. I'm going to let you guys know something if you haven't gone to Clintondale. I was the announcer senior year with Marcetta Cavalli, and they always had me read classmates' names, and I couldn't pronounce shit. I don't know how to speak. So when I mispronounce someone's name, just know I'm aware that I'm terrible. But Anna Nogueira, who wrote Supergirl, is going to be writing the Wonder Woman reboot for DC Studios, and she's also been tapped to give a stab at Teen Titans, the motion picture. So DC is definitely cooking up some stuff. I don't know if I love the fact that they have one writer working on 3 different films, but I do like the fact that they might connect a little more. Having said that, I think James Gunn does know exactly what we want in future films and television when it comes to superhero stuff. Also, Booster Gold has found its writer for the pilot, and it is the creator of Our Flag Means Death, David Jenkins. You can watch Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max. Moving over to the TV side of things, Resident Alien has announced that they're going to be ending their show with season 4, which you can watch all of it on Peacock. They're in the middle of their final season right now. They're a little bummed out, but the showrunner has announced that there is an ending to the series, and it does leave a little bit of a door open just in case they get picked up somewhere else. Also, Solar Opposites is ending with season 5. Which is, season 6. Damn, they're in 6 seasons? Holy shit. It's a lot of seasons. The show's pretty funny. Rick and Morty is superior, and even though I like Dan Stevens, who took over for Justin Roiland's voice for the main guy, I don't watch it anymore. I will hop back on, but the thing about the show is a lot of stuff happens, and it makes me have to rewatch episodes. So I think I'm going to go through a binge because they reference shit from way back when. And I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't remember this. Solar Opposites, you're hilarious and I love you, but I don't remember every single thing about the show because it's so wackadoo that Like Rick and Morty, I'll remember shit, but even that's getting to a point where I'm forgetting things. Anyways, they're going to be ending with season 6. Sterling K. Brown hyped up the Voltron movie. I wanted to read you some stuff. I've never watched Voltron. I know of Voltron, but apparently it is a wildly entertaining movie from Amazon MGM Studios. And he said he would jump on a sequel. I think it's due out in 2027, but I believe that they're done filming it. They're editing it right now. Speaking of what? No. Okay. So Spartacus, House of Asher has dropped a trailer. And I got to tell you guys, I wasn't too excited about this new show. If you haven't watched Spartacus before, I'm going to tell you where you can watch it and let you know you should watch it. Do you like violence? Do you like slow-mo shit? Basically, do you like 300? You'll love the Spartacus television series. And they ended it, but now they're coming back with a new season from a character that we believed to have been dead. I can't remember if they revealed him to be alive, but he has his own house now, and I don't know how. It makes me want to rewatch the whole series, which is honestly worth it. It was really, really good. I just watched it quite a few times. But Spartacus, House of Asher is coming back with some changes. It looks like they're going to have a lady gladiator. A black lady gladiator. How progressive. But I'm actually very excited because she looks like a badass in it. And also, why not? Get the ladies to get bloody in there, not just having wild, slow-mo graphic sex scenes. Then again, if you watch the trailer, they will be having that too. And they should. Don't ever stop doing that. Anyways, you can watch... I think you can watch all of the seasons of Spartacus on Stars, but I know specifically you can find the first season, Blood and Sand, on Tubi. The second season, Gods of the Arena, which is a prequel, on Roku. Vengeance, which is a continuation of Blood and Sand, on Roku. And War of the Damned is on Tubi. But like I said, I believe you can find all of them on Stars, but I don't know many people that have Stars unless they're watching the Power Universe, or... I always forget that other show. How do I forget the name of it? It's super popular. Force. I'm talking about Force. No. What the fuck? Meech. It's about Detroit, goddammit. Can anyone help me? Can someone help me? Why can't I can't remember the name of the show. Can't believe I'm looking this up. It's not showing up. It exists. What is the show called? I'm not moving. With Meech. BMF. It's an acronym. That's why I couldn't remember it. BMF. Black Mafia Family. I don't know what it has to do with Spartacus. Oh, okay. I don't know many people that have the Stars app unless they're watching Power or BMF. This is why you never take a week off. Everything goes haywire. But that's okay. You won't see me for a few weeks after this. In other news, if you like Rick and Morty, one of your favorite characters might be President Curtis, which is voiced by Keith David. Looks like Dan Harmon and James Siciliano will see David reprise the role as President Andre Curtis, a longtime rival of the duo Rick and Morty. He will be joined by Brooklyn Nine-Nine Stephanie Beatriz and Community's Jim Rash in the voice cast. It follows the commander-in-chief and his eccentric staff as they tackle the kind of crises that Rick Sanchez could never be bothered with, from interdimensional diplomacy to paranormal investigations and unexplained phenomena. Basically, we're getting another Rick and Morty show, which I dig because I love President Curtis. He's hilarious. Give me anything with Keith David and I'll be excited for it. Next up, Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon is going to be ending with season 4. I don't even think season 3 is out yet. But if you want to catch up, honestly, all the series might be on Netflix, but I do know new episodes will drop on AMC Plus. Interview with the Vampire. Not Interview with the Vampire. Vince Gilligan has a new show coming out. All right. The reason that this is all jumbled up is because we're going through a lot of shit tonight. So bear with me. Vince Gilligan, the name might sound familiar. What's one of the best TV shows ever made? Well, everyone always says Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. Vince Gilligan did Breaking Bad. He worked on X-Files, and he also did a cop show after Breaking Bad that got canceled after, I want to say, 2 seasons. It was okay, but the intricacy of Breaking Bad, the thrillerness, and everything that was addictive, like meth, that you had with Breaking Bad wasn't on his follow-up show. Looks like we're coming back to something Breaking Bad-esque called Pluribus, which came out with a very, very small teaser trailer where you don't understand what's going on. Now, I thought that they had released the plot outline and it was very well known. And I used to not want to know what it was about, but I was very curious about what this show is going to be about because I'm sure they're going to reveal it soon. If you don't want to know what it's about, shut this off right now. It's not really a spoiler. It's what the show is going to be about, but it sounds pretty dope. It stars Rhea Seehorn, who's from Better Call Saul. By the way, I didn't mean that as the follow-up show to Breaking Bad. There's a show after that that's outside the Breaking Bad universe. All right, Rhea Seehorn, the most miserable person on Earth who is tasked with preventing a global catastrophe triggered by an overwhelming wave of happiness. That sounds pretty cool. I love that idea. I'm excited to see where that goes, and we will see this show November 7th on Apple TV+. Next up, whoop, whoop. Is this where I talk about it? Oh, I do talk about it. Okay, so there's a show called Interview with the Vampire that's based off the Anne Rice books. You may remember Interview with the Vampire, the movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and Kirsten Dunst. Great film. I tried some of an episode of this and I wasn't really vibing with it, but I do know one of my mentors loves this show so much. My mom loves the books, but she didn't even dig the shows. In any case, the show's still riding hard, and it looks like season 3 is changing its title from An Interview with the Vampire to The Vampire Lestat. So I thought that was an interesting thing because you don't usually see TV shows change their titles unless it's Spartacus, Blood and Sand to Gods of the Arena to Vengeance to War of the Damned. So I thought that was interesting. All right. So we're losing Taylor Russell from Thomas Crown Affair. It's funny how much I've talked about this movie, but I really, really dug the Pierce Brosnan version. I didn't see the Steve McQueen version, but the Pierce Brosnan film with Rene Russo is pretty dope. And if you don't know what it's about a very rich and successful playboy who amuses himself by stealing artwork, but may have met his match in a seductive detective. You know, sexy thrillers are fun. There's the Michael Douglas days of Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, Disclosure, and I feel like I'm missing one more. There's Body Heat. There's a lot of good, sexy thrillers that we don't get anymore. Showgirls, a classic. And I want to bring those back. It's not necessarily do I want to get turned on by something that's happening on screen, but films elicit emotions. And I think when it comes to sexiness, 2025 people are very, very scared about that. And apparently there's studies that have been shown that younger people don't want to see sex on screen anymore. So I say, shut up, young people. Let's get the sex back. No, I'm just kidding. We don't necessarily need the sex back, but bring the sexy back. Yeah? Justin Timberlake would agree. Anyways, Taylor Russell was going to star in this film. And I like Michael B. Jordan's directing, like what he did with Creed 3. I thought he did a lot of cool stuff with it. 1 is still my favorite Creed, but 3 did a lot of cool stuff with it. And he's starring and directing in this one. So apparently, Taylor Russell was going to star in this, and due to creative differences, she's leaving. I never really gossip on Popcorn Poppin', but I wanted to know why she left. Creative differences was a weird name for something about a young actress that you never really see. So I looked it up, and there are rumors that them two got romantic IRL, and that caused some, like, it didn't work out. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, Taylor Russell, I'm sure, is going to do other cool stuff. I loved her in Bones and all. Very great actress. But it is true that when I heard that she got casted in this, I'm like, that doesn't seem very fitting for her. Because I'm not saying that Taylor Russell can't be sexy, but someone like Adria Arjona, she does more sexy roles. So I think that this is better fitting. and I'm interested to see how the film goes. But they're reshooting all of Taylor Russell's scenes with Adria Arjona. And if you're interested in watching the original Thomas Crown Affair with Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway, you can watch that on Amazon Prime or Pluto. But you could also watch the remake with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo, which I watched and I thoroughly enjoyed, on Prime Video and Pluto as well. So there's that. Next up, Taika Waititi takes Dredd on Judge Dredd. That's right. I believe so. Judge Dredd, I believe, was either a graphic novel or a comic book, but you saw the original with Sylvester Stallone from back in the day about a dystopian future where Joseph Dredd, the most famous judge, a police officer with instant field judiciary powers, is convicted for a crime he did not commit in the 1995 hit starring Sylvester Stallone. You can rent that right now. But if you want to see another Judge Dredd, which you don't have to see the original to understand, it's with Carl Urban about a violent, futuristic city where the police have the authority to act as judge, jury, and executioner. A cop teams with a trainee to take down a gang. It doesn't say it in this plot outline, but in a giant fucking apartment building that's very reminiscent of the Raid Redemption. They absolutely saw that and said, I want to make a movie like that. What IP can I use? And it worked. Super dope film. Anyways, we're not going to get a third Judge Dredd movie. No word on who's going to play Judge Dredd, but apparently Taika Waititi is going to be the one. If you want to see Dredd, the 2012 version, check it out on HBO Max. Highly recommend. I liked it more than Sylvester Stallone's Judge Dredd. On the comedy side of things, Will Ferrell and Ryan Gosling are tough guys. The story follows two henchmen who are tired of being disposable and break free from the criminal underworld, rewriting the rules as they build a new life on their own terms. Great idea. So you might be asking yourself, what's this a picture of? Were they in a movie before? No, they were actually doing a really funny segment. I think they've done this twice on Jimmy Kimmel called Knife Guys. So I wonder if that's has anything to do with why the next one's called Tough Guys. Very funny bit. Highly recommend to look up Knife Guys from Jimmy Kimmel on YouTube. Very funny. On the romantic side of things, we have Katie Holmes, who's I'm not like big on Katie Holmes films, but I do respect an actor or actress that is going to take a big step and direct feature films. And she's apparently directed before on films I hadn't seen before. One I'm kind of interested in, but I am interested in these three because she's taking on a trilogy. I don't know how a trilogy was greenlit for her. She must be funding it a lot herself, but she's set to write, direct, and star in Happy Hours, a new feature film trilogy where she'll reunite with Dawson's Creek co-star Joshua Jackson. I forgot that she was on Dawson's Creek. She was on Dawson's Creek? Yeah. She was like the main girl. I only remember the blonde, and I can't even remember her name right now. Anyways, a story about two people navigating their relationship within the challenges of careers and family responsibilities in the pursuit of love, despite life's inevitable obstacles. It's a character-driven dramedy that explores the I can't believe I copied and pasted this for sure, but there's no reason in reading all that. It's a romance trilogy. Also, we rarely get romance trilogies. The best romance trilogy, I think, is Before Sunset, After Sunrise, and like Before Tomorrow or something. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. Really, really good trilogy. Anyways, if you want to look at other Katie Holmes directed films, she did Alone Together, which you can watch on Hulu along with Rare Objects, and All We Had on Peacock. The one that sounds most interesting to me is Alone Together on Hulu. Futurama is returning soon. On September 15th, Hulu will drop all 10 episodes of season 13 at once. Exciting stuff. I still got to catch up on it. Maximum pleasure guaranteed for Tatiana Maslany and Jake Johnson, because they're going to be starring in a television show together. It's a half-hour, darkly comedic thriller. I love dark comedies, which follows Paula, a newly divorced mom who falls down a dangerous rabbit hole of blackmail, murder, and youth soccer. Didn't see that last part. Okay. Anyways, Jake Johnson's going to be playing Carl, Paula's ex-husband. Be directed and executive produced by David Gordon Green. Excellent director who I'm glad is going back to comedy because he just did the Halloween trilogy. Yeah, he did 3 as well, which wasn't very well received. But he also did a lot of Danny McBride stuff. And let's look up his better films. Pineapple Express. He did do The Exorcist Believer. Wasn't a fan of that. Your Highness. I'm not really selling him well, am I? He did Pineapple Express. So let's just be happy, okay? Let's be happy. I'm excited. And Tatiana Maslany, after She-Hulk, she really got fucking robbed of... She got robbed of She-Hulk, all right? I don't care what anyone says. I would have been down for a second season, and I think it would have been better than the first. I think that they were just trying to figure out what they were doing, and they could have done it, all right? And she was great in it. You can't deny that. Don't. Leave her alone. I'm excited for her. All right, I guess we're getting into the television shows. So there was only one new television show that I had a chance to watch, and it's called Untamed with Eric Bana. In the vast expanse of Yosemite National Park, a young woman's death draws a federal agent into lawless terrain where nature obeys no rules but its own. Poppin' or not? It looks like it's alcohol, but it's an energy drink. It's not like strong. It's got no sugar, but it's rare that I down energy drinks, but I really need to down it because I want to go to sleep after this. There's no way I'm going to go to sleep after this, especially after taking the shot of that energy drink. Anyways, this show is Poppin' with Eric Bana. It reminds me of Mayor of Easttown, which you can watch on HBO Max, or Broadchurch, excellent detective series, which you can watch on Tubi and Pluto. This whole miniseries is on Netflix. I'm not completely caught up, but if you like murder mysteries, this one's pretty dope. The opening scene is fucking nuts, so I highly recommend it. Also, new episode of South Park dropped on Paramount Plus, Comedy Central Wednesdays, and Paramount Plus the next day. Very Trump-centric, so if you love Trump, you should check out this episode. It was very, very good. Poppin' for sure. I'm glad they're back. New shows I didn't have a chance to check out are Washington Black, which follows the 19th century adventures of George Washington Wash Black, an 11-year-old boy on a Barbados sugar plantation who must flee after a gruesome death returns to turn his life upside down. Where's the boy? Is he back there? Because it seems like the guy up front's the star. I don't know. Sterling K. Brown's in it, so I'm kind of interested. Also, the fucking poster looks sick, so I want to check it out. You can check it out, too, on Hulu. And the other new show is Hunting Wives on Netflix. Another sexy show with Malin Ackerman as someone. Margot? I don't know. But it's about Sophie O'Neill, who moves to deep East Texas, and she succumbs to socialite Margot's charms. Her life is soon consumed by obsession, seduction, and murder. I like the title. And Malin Ackerman's dope. Brittany Snow's a good actress, but Malin Ackerman, I feel like, should have been more popular, especially after Watchmen. That was probably like her biggest movie besides Harold and Kumar. And I don't know. I hope this is good. I don't know if it's a miniseries or a TV show, but you can watch all of what they got on Netflix right now. And I just want to revisit a couple of shows, one being Dexter Resurrection. This show is getting crazy. And why? Because of this weird-ass storyline that's happening right now that they just introduced. When I hear of an... what they're doing with the show is like almost everything I'm against, but I fucking love it. So, minor spoiler of the casting that happens and what's happening right now in the show. All right? I'm not going to tell you anyone that dies, but I am going to tell you what is happening on the show right now. So, if you don't want to hear it, go ahead and shut this off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. While his son Harrison is trying to stay out of the way of police detectives after killing a rapist, Dexter occupies his time infiltrating a serial killer buddy club. And that buddy club, serial killer club, has Kristen Ritter, Neil Patrick Harris, David Dastmalchian, and Eric Stonestreet. I didn't know Eric Stonestreet was going to be in this, but I like him a lot. And we also got Uma Thurman playing Peter Dinklage's bodyguard. It's sick. It's so weird right now. And Peter Dinklage plays the head of this killer club because he's infatuated with serial killers. It's so weird. So apparently Dexter Resurrection is, Dexter is based off of graphic novels. So I was like, okay, maybe this storyline is in a graphic novel because this seems graphic novel-y. It isn't. It's not. It's what? this is so crazy. It's so weird, but I like it. Anyways, check out Dexter Resurrection's new episodes on Paramount Plus Fridays. It says Sundays, but my friend John said he watched the newest episode on Friday, so I think it's Fridays. And also want to revisit real quick before we get to newer movies, Smoke on Apple TV Plus. New episodes drop on Fridays. It's about an arson investigator played by Taron Egerton, whatever, who unwillingly teams up with a police detective played by Journey Smollett to investigate and stop two arsonists. This show's crazy. It is poppin'. I really enjoy every character. They're all three-dimensional and include such interesting layers. This show ran by Dennis Lehane, who worked on Blackbird, The Outsider, Mr. Mercedes, and he also did the novels of Mystic River and Shutter Island. Excellent writer, excellent projects. Check out his filmography sometime. This show just gets more and more interesting, and Taron Egerton is so fucking weird, dude. You may remember him from The Kingsman or Rocket Man. He's so strange in this show, but it works so damn well. Journey Smollett has an excellent take on no shit taken from nobody attitude, yet still has empathy for others, like John Leguizamo's character that joined 2 episodes again. He is so great, and him and Anna Chlumsky from My Girl or Veep just joined, and I dig it. I really like the show Smoke. Check it out on Apple TV Plus Fridays. All right. Let's get into some newer films before we talk about the ones that are on the banner. I want to take a moment to talk about Eddington. This has Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, and Emma Stone. In the May of 2020, a standoff between a small-town sheriff and a mayor sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico. Very strange Western dark comedy that's directed by Ari Aster, who did Hereditary, super popular. I liked it a lot. I think it's a little overrated, but you can check that out on Tubi. Midsommar, which is excellent, that you can rent. And Beau is Afraid, which is way too long, but it is super dope. It's very strange. Strange. If you like strange comedies, check out Beau is Afraid on HBO Max. This movie is so weird. So, poppin' or not? In general, it is poppin'. I love making fun of everyone's views. No matter what your politics are, you will view everyone as an idiot in this film. Pedro Pascal seems to be the good guy, but even he has a lot of questionable faults. The protagonist, Joaquin Phoenix, who we follow throughout the film, is unlikable, and it works and it doesn't work. It works because he's human. All these characters being unlikable and stupid reminds us all that we share the common case of stupidity alike. It doesn't work because you kind of root against him in scary situations. Not necessarily, I hope he dies, but you're not like, oh, I hope he gets out of this situation, because the second half is fucking wild. Perspective is awesome in this film. The camera rarely ever leaves a room unless we're following another character into said room. It is a very funny film, and the second half of it is fucking fantastic Western with great action and suspense back to back. Stressful and thrilling, but hard to watch, which is what leads us into the cons. It's a COVID movie, and I don't really love COVID movies because it reminds us of a real life situation a little too well. I go to the movies to escape real life, and this is a time machine or a time capsule to one of the worst points in society's history. Because it's a COVID movie, every situation is uncomfortable, from vaccines talks to masks, arguments to social media, which this movie is about social media. It's a completely uncomfortable film to watch, making it, in my eyes, pretty good filmmaking. But also, when I see a movie, I do want to enjoy what I'm watching. The epilogue of the film is a bit much, and the film is, in general, long as fuck. But overall, it is well made. I just wish it was 45 minutes shorter and a bit more enjoyable to watch. I give this one a medium with butter. Check it out in theaters. By the way, I should note, there were 3 people in the theater that I went when I went to see this movie. Me and 2 strangers sitting in different spots. 1 person left midway through. So maybe wait for streaming, just in case. But if you're bored and you're watching this on streaming, just fast forward it to where shit pops off, because it gets really cool. I love the second half. The first half's all right. I already explained everything. Movies I didn't see that are in theaters right now are Guns Up, which is with Kevin James and Christina Ricci. It's basically him trying to do a John Wick. And if you got kids, take them to see Smurfs, which is in theaters right now. And we're going to take a little bit of commercial break. Once we get back, we'll be talking about Happy Gilmore, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Fantastic Four.
There you are. We were worried sick.
Do you know how long we were looking for you?
Every time you do this, you're gone longer and longer.
You're gone so much, we almost felt like giving up.
Listen, we love you, but if you keep this up...
If you go missing one more time, mister, I'll literally put you on a leash. Is that what
baby,
you want?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Shut up. Is that what you want?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
All right, then.
Listen, if you could just stay put where you are at all times, everything will be okay, all right? Okay. All right, good. I trust him.
I don't know.
Baby, let's just take a deep breath. Feel better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now I think... Oh, damn it, he's gone again!
Now we won't be able to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, man. That... I'm sad. This is sad to me. I'm sad.
Take it off.
Okay.
Parents, always tether your remotes. That way they don't get lost in the couch and you don't miss out on Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is a public service announcement.
We still got Smurfs on screen. All right. We're gonna dump it. We're gonna dump in. We're gonna jump into Spotlight Films. After I answered this question earlier, I talked about Katie Holmes going to write, direct, and star in a trilogy of films called, I think, Happy Hours. This one is the trilogy that I said was maybe the best romance trilogy that I had ever seen. It's dialogue heavy. It's just dialogue, basically. But it's Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, yes, in Richard Linklater's The Before trilogy. The first one is called Before Sunrise, which came out in 1995. The second one is called Before Sunset, which came out in 2004. And the third one is called Before Midnight, which came out in 2013. Excellent trilogy, especially if you like dialogue. If you like Richard Linklater, I highly recommend it. But I definitely, if you like romances, I recommend to try Before Sunrise. And if you kind of like it, you should absolutely watch Before Sunset. That's my favorite, I think. Either the second one or the third one. I looked it up, and these aren't streaming. At least Before Sunrise isn't streaming anywhere. So you'll have to rent it. But I do recommend doing so. Looks like you have to rent all of them. Except Before Midnight, which you can watch on Hulu. But again, you want to start with the first one, Before Sunrise. Novocaine said, is it a thing to do these John Wick movies now? They've kind of been doing it for a while, though. We got Nobody, and I know there's a few others. I can't think of them right now. If anything, it kind of started with Taken, except John Wick is more comedic. Like, it might not be like, oh, whoops, but it's, ridiculous, and that's what makes it funny. Novocaine also says, would Taken be the forefather of that movie style? Because Bob Odenkirk has Nobody, but I'm trying to think of more. Me too. I don't know. Like I said, I thought of Taken. It's one-man army movies, If you look up one-man army movies, the one that everyone thinks of is John Wick. But I think people think of John Wick because it is kind of ridiculous. However, if we look at Google, it'll tell us that the other one-man movies are like Die Hard or Under Siege or Rambo, but those are like action movies. But I mean, they are kind of one-man army, I guess. So to me, I think John Wick maybe wouldn't have happened without Taken. That might be a big stretch to say. Let's just say that John Wick is like the forefather of this kind of movie style, because even though there are movies like Die Hard and whatnot, there are still more movies that are like Die Hard than they are like John Wick. You know what I'm saying? So I would say what popularized and made a more focused plot line of one-man army, so one-man army that it's ridiculous, is John Wick. But good question, Novocaine. All right. Now we get to the good part. Not our main event, but it's kind of our main event. So first, let's talk about Happy Gilmore 2. All right. You ready? Happy Gilmore. I like golf. Gilmore returns to the sport of golf since his retirement after winning his first tour championship to finance his daughter's ballet classes. Poppin' or not, I don't know if poppin' is the right word, but I will say I certainly enjoyed many parts of this film. Let's start with the pros. Pro, it's Adam Sandler, Happy Madison. I love every Happy Madison movie, even the worst, which is Jack and Jill. Murder Mystery 2, actually, no, I lied. Murder Mystery 2, I did not. It was okay, but I didn't love it. All right. But Jack and Jill is like the worst movie, but it's still funny because it's fun. We love Adam Sandler. He knows how to make his own genre of comedy really enjoyable and fitting for every person. He's very, very funny and very silly. And this one is very funny and extremely silly. In fact, I would say it's more silly than it is funny. I like the opening explaining what's happened for the past 30 years, and I bought all of it. He got rich and he lost it all and is now a regular guy. I believe they did this because Adam Sandler wanted to relate more to the common man instead of rich people, as he often does. For example, a lot of his movies take place in Hawaii or other destination places because his characters are always super rich, because Adam Sandler has had a very rich lifestyle, I'm assuming, because he makes a gajillion dollars off of his movies. As he should. So I like that he was like he's an ex-celebrity, don't get me wrong, but he is more of a normal guy trying to make ends meet that is struggling with the death of a loved one, which leads to another pro. The heart of losing a loved one in this story is actually done pretty well. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of ridiculous how the loved one dies, but I do like how it is translated. There are serious moments in this. The last shot of the movie is a very like, oh wow, like it had a lot of heart, and it's strange that this movie had moments of heartfelt stuff. You know what I mean? So in the first film, he kills his dad, and people don't remember that. I forgot it till I rewatched the film, but if you don't remember, there's a lot of home videos, and there's a part where Happy's dad is holding the video camera, and he actually hit his dad with a hockey puck, and the camera kind of like goes limp, and the next immediate scene is the dad's funeral. So it's like, oh, Happy accidentally killed his dad. I forgot about that. And later on in the film, he kind of sort of killed Chubbs. He showed him taking the crocodile or alligator, I don't know the difference, the head, and then he fell out the window. Always close your windows when you're showing someone a gift that you bought them, especially if it's a severed head. It's like rule number 1 of gift giving heads. Where was I? Some parts of this film cracked me the fuck up. I want to say the line that Ask Robin, I was dying laughing. It was towards the end of the movie, which is not my favorite part of the movie. But it had a mental institution, and someone says, I can't believe I'm doing this, but, and that's all I'll say of the part, but it's a mental institution part. It's such a weird thing to throw in, but it cracked me up so hard. Another part that cracked me up was Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny himself didn't crack me up. I don't really listen to his music. I barely know who he is. He's in the movie a lot, but there is a part where they ask him what kind of restaurant does he want to do. And fuck it, I'll say the joke. What kind of restaurant are you opening up? Sushi. No. Italian. I thought that was so stupid because those are vastly different restaurants. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. So anyways, let's see. Gift giving head, indeed. All right, so let's lead into the cons. And again, this is opinion of me, and I understand it's supposed to be a silly comedy, but I'm just giving my honest opinion. Way too many callbacks. Too many callbacks. Not only does the film recycle jokes like crazy, but they recycle the previous film's jokes at a fucking insane rate. For instance, sure, the flask bit was funny for the first 7 times, but was overdone for its like 14th time. Strangling the teen that we saw in the first film, remember? They do that in this. I should have clocked it. I literally should have fucking. It was at least 27 times. But the point is, reference the joke from the previous film. Don't repeat it. If you're going to repeat it, make it better. If not, don't do it. If so, only do it once. Otherwise, it's just watered down. I was so damn drained from this film by the time the second half happened. The main thing that dragged it down for me, besides the repeating of the jokes, was there's a plot outline from the villain called the Maxi Extreme Golf thing storyline. That's what I call it. It just dragged the film down. It was so stupid. It's basically extreme golf under extreme circumstances. I thought it was so fucking dumb. It was too dumb. And I understand. It's a stupid comedy. I totally understand that. But man, I was just like, oh man, come on. So there's also a person who doesn't play golf. This is a golfing movie, but there are so many golf cameos and one too many Travis Kelce. I'll admit it. I'm a hater on Travis Kelce. So every scene, basically when Travis Kelce entered the movie, I disliked the movie a lot. I don't think it's his fault, but just because you have a famous person in a movie doesn't mean it's automatically funny. And I just didn't think he was that funny in this. At least Bad Bunny was a little funny. Overall, I like what they did with Happy and Shooter. Shooter McGavin was fucking awesome. And I laughed at more than a few parts. So it did the job. I'm going to give it a small popcorn with butter. And I would give it a higher rating because of how much I laughed. But I know that I'll never watch it again. And I did not want a sequel in the first place. I think, if anything, Happy Gilmore 2 taught us, or at least me, I don't need any more goddamn sequels, especially from Adam Sandler movies. Most movies that he does is a completely new film. It's the same thing with Denzel Washington. Although Equalizer 3 is my favorite, we don't need sequels to Denzel Washington movies. Weird that I'm comparing Denzel Washington to Adam Sandler, but we're here now. He has at least 20 Happy Madison movies, and most of them are different from each other. But the 2 sequels that I can think of weren't that good. Murder Mystery 2 and Happy Gilmore 2. Stop doing sequels, Adam. You don't need to. Let's check out the comments real quick. I had a feeling it was just going to be all callbacks, like Overkill. And it wasn't all callbacks. If you took out all the callbacks, I would have definitely given it a medium with butter. It was just an annoying amount of callbacks. If they just made the fucking callbacks funnier, it would have been better. And 1,000 cameos. I'm okay with cameo galore, but the Travis Kelce one was like, okay, I get that Travis Kelce's in this movie, but don't act like he's funny. It's the same thing with the golfers. If you're gonna do sports cameos, we don't have to act like they're funny. Just have them there. Yeah. Equalizer is a one-man army movie. You're right. But I wouldn't call that John Wick. Would you? Maybe. Anyways, if we're calling Equalizer a John Wick movie, then John Wick isn't the forefather. So, I would say stream it, because if you like Happy Madison, check it out. But it is hilarious. One last thing about this movie. It's like they got the budget of $200 million and they made it their sole mission to spend every fucking penny. Because there's so many outlandish scenes in this where you're like, why is this here? Which happens a lot in Happy Madison, but it's so expensive. And it just didn't need to be. Anyways, you can check out Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. Small with butter. I Know What You Did Last Summer 3. So ridiculous. The title alone made me angry. But if you don't know what it's about, a group of friends are terrorized by a stalker who knows about a gruesome incident from their past. Poppin' or not popping for theaters, for streaming. Only a little bit, though. The pros. Like Hard Eyes, I love the kills. Where the plot was lacking, the serial killer's murder tactics thrived. They really lean into the fisherman aesthetic by utilizing a harpoon gun and strangling with rope. It's not all about the hook. There's line and there's sinker. I giggled when I came up with that line. I bought who the killer was. The final reveal, I was like, yeah, I buy that. It was risky, and I don't think I've seen it done many times before. And that's all I'll say about that. Also, I liked that the event that happened last summer wasn't exactly what happens in the original because this is a sequel. But the con is that the film tried way too hard to be Scream. Scream was a spoof of horror tropes. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a horror trope movie. It doesn't take itself at a funny light. Sure, there's probably comedic scenes in it, but maybe like one or two. For the most part, it's a straight horror movie. Not saying it's like the best horror movie. I rewatched it recently and I was like, this movie isn't that great. It's more about like when it came out and just loving slashers. But it's not that greatest of the movie, but it took itself more serious. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer still took itself more serious. Sure, there was Jack fucking Black in it, which I did not remember, and that was a pleasant surprise when I rewatched the movie. But it didn't take it has like little jokes, but it's not in your face. This one was like, oh, we got to do what Scream does. No, you don't. Don't do what Scream does. If it was more straight up horror, like it does with their killing scenes, and they made what they did with the killing scenes the plot of what's going on, and everyone was more serious, I would have taken the movie more serious. But it became a meta Scream movie and took everything as a joke. The first two films weren't jokey in times of peril, and this one had a joke every 10 minutes, and it did not work. There's an after credit scene that's mostly comedic, and that might get more people excited, but I was kind of, sure, maybe I'll watch it if they make another one, but I don't care too much. Overall, I'm honestly happy that they gave a trilogy a shot because Scream had like 7 films. So this one deserved another stab or a poke or a strangle or a shot through the heart, and you're too late. But it gave love a bad name. Anyways. And by the way, I really enjoyed I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It was way better to watch this time because I had never watched it not on bootleg. My mom got a copy of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer on bootleg VHS. You can't see a fucking thing, and that movie's already dark enough as it is. But it was like a decent 90s horror movie. I don't know. Even though I think it came out in 2000. Anyways, small popcorn for this one. Wait for streaming if you're interested. And even if you do watch it, just be excited for the horror scenes. Now on to the main event. Fantastic Four, The First Steps. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and The Thing face their most daunting challenge yet as they defend Earth, not New York City, but Earth from Galactus and the Silver Surfer. We got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Julia Garner, and Ralph Ineson. Directed by Matt Shakman, who did a lot of TV, some Game of Thrones, some Mad Men, Weeds, some Monarch episodes, a shit ton of Always Sunny, all of WandaVision, which definitely led to him getting this film, and a film called Cut Bank, which you can rent. I remember seeing a trailer for it, but I had never seen the movie before. But he only did that one movie, and he's done 20 years of television. So I'm really happy that he got this. Highly anticipated MCU film. Very highly anticipated. My expectations were right here. Up to my neeps. All right. Let's bring it over to Bucky. How you doing today, Bucky? Doing well. I'm happy for you. Now, We've been waiting a while for Multiverse Saga to connect and to give us a solid Fantastic Four movie. The first two were campy but fun. I liked them. The last Fantastic Four movie, not very good. What do we think of Fantastic Four First Steps? Well, that's exciting, ain't it? Excellent standalone film. Here are the pros. Excellent standalone film. We've already seen the origin a few times and are explained the origins in the beginning of this one and have much of what's going on during the peak of their fame throughout the film. We already know they went to space and something crazy happened. They're brought back. In the last Fantastic Four film, there was like 20 to 30 minutes of that happening. Even the first campy one, not the very first from the early 90s, late 80s, but the Jessica Alba one, like 10 minutes in, they got their powers. Last Fantastic Four, it took like 20 to 30 minutes. This one, they already have them. We're just explaining it real quick. This movie actually reminded me a lot of Superman, except Superman has explanation of a universe throughout the film. And that's understandable because we are being introduced to a universe, not just Superman. But we are thrown in the middle. This one, we're thrown in the middle, but we don't have to explain an entire universe. Just who the Fantastic Four is for the first 7 minutes. Pretty cool. I love the fun style of the 60s, reminiscent of The Incredibles, which in turn is inspired by the Fantastic Four comics. And the family dynamic, the characters, and acting of the four was indeed fantastic. They all work well off of each other. They truly feel like a family, whether it be the boring quibble of Human Torch and the Thing. I don't know why I said boring. It's not really boring. Or the important times of communication and marriage between the Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. My favorite Fantastic was Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. Sure, it's Pedro Pascal, and he might be my favorite actor out of all of them. But I wasn't mostly excited for him. I was mostly excited for the Thing, who was great, by the way. But Reed Richards was really fucking good in this. I loved how great he was, analytical, yet funny without trying too hard to be funny. And when he's serious, he has good reason to be. The best scenes of acting are between him and Vanessa Kirby because their marriage is in peril. Their marriage isn't in peril. Them raising a child has a lot of consequences because of where they are in the superhero world. I don't want to give away too much, but it's really interesting. I really liked their conversations in this. They made sense. They kind of sounded real. Understanding when they want to fight, they're like, no, I know we're right, but we want to be mad at each other, but we can't be. We disagree, but we know what is right and we know what is wrong. I will say, no matter what, it's wrong to go to space when you're 7 months pregnant or when you're pregnant. That's stupid. And that happens in this movie. And they have one conversation about it, and I don't buy it. It's really fucking dumb. I don't care. It doesn't ruin the movie, but I thought that was really fucking stupid. And by the way, if that wouldn't have happened, a lot of things in this movie wouldn't have happened, but I digress. Silver Surfer was fucking spectacular. She was a badass. She literally shreds waves on things cooler than water. I won't tell you what, but when she starts shredding waves, I was like, yo, that's fucking cool. I wasn't expecting that. You see Silver Surfer surf things. You see Silver Surfer surf things besides air, which is what we only saw in Rise of the Silver Surfer. Really dope job. Nothing particularly special about her story, just Julia Garner's acting, which it's hard to interpret because it is CGI, but she was pretty good in it. And I like what they did with the Silver Surfer. Galactus was cool too, but specifically I just like the fact that the Fantastic Four injure him in their first encounter, and you hear a grunt of pain. He's not just some OP. They have a chance. Granted, this is from someone who didn't read the comic books, and everyone was very excited for Galactus, and I understand that they made him smaller in size compared to what they did in the comic books, but I was told that in TV show adaptations of Galactus, he is as big as Godzilla, which is what they made him in this. And they did shout out to Roxy for pointing out the scale of how big he is by seeing him next to the Statue of Liberty or on street level, watching him walk on a road. I thought that was cool. And I like the Fantastic Four being scientists and explorers as opposed to just a superhero family. Even though that's what I was expecting to go see, this movie was very different from what I expected, and I applaud them for taking the swings that they took. Like I said, very, very fun. But let's go into the cons. There aren't many. I'll tell you right now, it's still popping. It's still popping. These are very small cons. There's a lot of Reed Richards explaining things in montages. This movie's full of montages. There's a lot of equations and shit. This is going to sound like very analytical of a complaint, but there's a lot of equations and shit. I get it's a movie about scientists, but a bit more homework talk than I had envisioned going into the film. And even though there is an included amount of snippets of what they were like in street level fights, I wish we got a cold open of the family thwarting a crime from a street level villain like Mole Man. Then do the montage of explaining who the four are. I feel like we barely got to see them kick ass until the middle of the movie, even though they've mastered it in this universe that it's already set in. I thought going into this movie, we're going to see them fighting crime a lot. But instead, we're explained, yeah, they fought so much crime that they're kings of the world. And now they're facing a big adversary. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of a workup to it, not just montages of a workup to it. If I would have just had one scene and that being the opening scene, I think that would have been a more perfect way to introduce us to this family. But the biggest con of all is this film and how it's set in the greater MCU universe. If the film came out as a first phase of phase one, beginning a saga, it would have been rated a large with butter. But the multiverse saga is almost over. And we've been sitting around, arms in the air, waiting for better connections in the MCU for fucking ever. And this film does not connect to the larger MCU multiverse saga almost at all. Obviously, we know that it will, and there's a scene of Reed Richards explaining that the multiverse saga exists, but the audience did not get any closure of pieces moving. We don't have pieces moving in the multiverse saga chessboard, even though the fucking game is already almost over. We've just been introduced to every single piece, and we've been introduced to pieces that most of them we're never going to see again, i.e. She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Eternals. At least it doesn't seem like we're ever going to see them again. So it was very disheartening to see that the end credits gave us a lame wink at Doctor Doom. I'm sorry, I thought it was lame. Don't get me wrong, the theater had cheers. But what were we cheering for, guys? We knew that Doctor Doom was going to be in it. We know that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom. And we don't even see Robert Downey. Like, that was a stand-in. We don't see Robert Downey Jr., which I'm not saying I needed to see him, but we don't even hear his voice. We heard Mahershala Ali's Blade, and we don't have a Blade movie. We heard him in Eternals, what was that, like 5 years ago? And we still don't even have a Blade movie, but that's a whole nother thing. But we're seeing Robert Downey Jr. like next year, and what? We only see the back of Doctor Doom? I'm not saying I needed a grand theatrical thing, but I just needed more of a connection of multiverse saga. This saga is not connecting. It's just pieces. And I just wish that they would have learned from the previous saga. That's all I'm saying. that lame wink of Doctor Doom and a comical animation theme as the end credits, but no new indication of what's to come. We already know about Big Bad Doctor Doom. Can a motherfucker get an RDJ line and a sinister voice, please? So I could talk more about this, but I think that it would just be me repeating the same thing. I've said in every single MCU film, Thunderbolts capitalized more. I'm not saying Thunderbolts is the better MCU film. I think I personally enjoyed Thunderbolts more because of the way that they worked. It's a different film. You know, it's like a Suicide Squad meets Avengers. Like, I don't like y'all and y'all don't like me, but we're going to get together and whoop some ass. And also, we're going to connect to the greater MCU, and our end credit scene is going to show what's to come next film. Yes, you can say that Doctor Doom shows what's to come, but we already know that, and we already knew about Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, just fucking connect. Like, show Moon Knight show up and be like, yo, this is happening. I don't know. Even, no, I'm just going to say the same thing over and over again. So, what do I rate this movie? Large popcorn. If it was by itself at phase 1 and didn't connect to a whole saga, I would give it with butter. But I'm going to give it a large popcorn. You can check it out in theaters, and it's dope in theaters. It's very dope in theaters. And before we talk about what's coming out in the upcoming weeks, here's what's coming out MCU-wise next. We got Eyes of Wakanda dropping Friday. It was going to be next week, but it's dropping Friday. We got Marvel Zombie. Okay, so I'm angry again, by the way, because Eyes of Wakanda isn't going to have anything to do with the greater MCU. Marvel Zombies, that's not going to be anything. That's coming out in October. Wonder Man, I doubt it's going to connect to anything bigger, but that's coming out in December. We got the second season of Daredevil Born Again coming out next March, which will lead into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is going to be released July 31st. And then Avengers Doomsday in December of next year. In 2027, before Secret Wars, we have an untitled Marvel movie July 23rd. Just be Blade. Just be Blade. Just do it. We don't know what it is, and it might get pushed back, but there is a movie in between the Avengers films. Secret Wars, December 2027. We'll see, guys. Do you think Marvel is going to finish strong? I don't know. It's going to be a very big rise of the Skywalker situation. Novocaine thought overall it was a good MCU film. He wishes that there was a little more character development. And Galactus was scary as fuck. More menacing than Thanos, in my opinion. I got the chills when they were in space trying to bargain with him. Thanos never really gave me chills. Personally, I wasn't ever like, oh, Thanos. I was just like, yo, this guy is really romanticized killing half the universe. Moon Knight will be back for sure. I'm pretty sure I seen it get green lit for a second season. You didn't. You didn't see that. And if you did, you didn't check to see if it was true. Moon Knight. Season 2. While a Moon Knight, yeah, it's not, no. They confirmed the character will appear in future films, but no, there has not been a green lit. No, that's not a thing. So get your sources down, Novocaine. I shouldn't have read that comment. I'm sorry for embarrassing you. What's coming out next week? So, as I said before, we're going to be taking a long break before Popcorn Spookin', which might not happen, but it will happen. I already started writing it. What would I be writing? We'll see. But next week, we got Together, which will be, this week, Together, starring Allison Brie and Dave Franco. About years into the relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads as they move into the country, with tensions already flaring. An encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. I have tried not to look at the trailer, but it looks fucking crazy. And this is a real-life couple. I'm very excited for this. Don't you he, Novocaine? I think this will be poppin'. I'm just trying to stay away from the trailers. You can check this out in theaters Thursday. Coming out on HBO Max, this movie's been out for a while, but you can watch Final Destination Bloodlines on HBO Max. And a reminder that Eyes of Wakanda will be dropping on Disney Plus Friday. That's not Eyes of Wakanda. That's not even Eyes of Wakanda. That's Bad Guys. What the hell? I fucked up. All right. Well, in theaters, let's see. So there is Bad Guys 2, which will be in theaters July 31st, along with The Naked Gun. I am very excited for I am very excited for Naked Gun, but I got to lower my expectations. If you haven't watched the Naked Gun films, you can watch them on Paramount Plus with Leslie Nielsen and David Zucker. Airplane is probably the most popular original stupid comedy that you can compare to Scary Movie. But I will tell you that without Airplane and Naked Gun, which were directed by David Zucker, you wouldn't get Scary Movie. So we got a reboot. Technically, I guess you'd call it a sequel because this guy's supposed to be the son of Leslie Nielsen. But this is directed by Akiva Schaffer, the Lonely Islands director. And I've seen some bits, and I think it'll be very, very funny. I think he's a very good director. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table with this Naked Gun. In theaters, July 31st. August 7th, we got Freakier Friday. I think this won't be popping for me, but I think this will be popping for the general fans. This looks like more of a family film. Instead of them two switching, it's the entire family. Although we've seen that happen already. We got Weapons, which I'm very excited for. I don't know what it's about, but I hear people say it looks crazy. I know it has something to do with children. And it's directed by the guy who did Barbarians. This is hitting theaters August 7th. August 14th, we got Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk returning. Looks fun, but I am getting a little burnt out on the John Wick comedy films. Bob Odenkirk's a shit, though, so I'm excited to see it. We have Spike Lee returning to theaters with Denzel Washington in Highest to Lowest, which is a remake off of one of my favorite Akira Kurosawa films, High and Low. There is a trailer for this out already. I don't know how Spike Lee is going to do this, but I'm really hoping that he does it well. I'm not saying he has to necessarily respect High and Low, but because I can see a modernized version of this where you don't have to see the original and you don't even have to compare them. But Spike Lee's films are very hit or miss these days. I don't care who you are. You got to admit, not all of them are great. But I do respect Spike Lee. He's one of the pioneers of dope films. So, Highest to Lowest, August 27th. I hope it will be popping. I don't say it's going to be popping. Honey Don't is going to be in theaters August 27th, which is done by Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers. It looks fun. I just wasn't the biggest fan of their last movie. I can't even remember what it was called, but I wasn't that big a fan of it. This will hopefully be better. Caught Stealing also looks fun. Weird choice for Darren Aronofsky to direct. This is not his type of action comedy with Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz, but I am down. The Roses, which I've seen people in theaters go, this doesn't look funny. I think it'll be dope. I just think the trailer showed way too much. But it is a remake of War of the Roses with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. Directed by Danny DeVito. Great film. Highly recommend. But I think this will be fun. I just don't think it'll be as dark. I think it'll be more comedy-wise. We also got The Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage hitting theaters August 29th. I still haven't seen the original, but I think this will be interesting in the very least. On streaming, we got The Pickup, which will be on Amazon Prime August 6th with Eddie Murphy, Pete Davidson, and Keke Palmer. Cast-wise, should be hilarious. Story-wise, should be hilarious. I watched the trailer. I didn't laugh once. I don't think this movie looks very funny. Tim Story's hit or miss. He directs some films. But I don't know. I hope it's going to be good. We got Wednesday, season 2. Fixed is going to be on Netflix August 13th. This looks okay. Animated raunchy comedy from Jenny something who did, not from the block, who did Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. We got Twisted Metal, which will be season 2 dropping on Peacock Thursday. I have actually not finished the first season. It is fun. I just was hoping it was going to be more Twisted Metal Black, that kind of darkness, but I'll still be down to watch this. We got Chief of War, the new Jason Momoa show on Apple TV Plus August 1st. King of the Hill returns to Hulu on August 4th. Platonic Season 2. I'm sorry. Now we get to Wednesday, Part 1 of Season 2 dropping August 6th and Part 2 dropping on September 3rd. I think it'll be fun, but I don't think it'll be good as Season 1. Eyes of Wakanda is actually dropping Friday. There we go. Platonic Season 2, Apple TV Plus, August 6th. I love these two together. I think, my curtain. I feel like the wizard. Everything's being revealed. There we go. Platonic, I love this show. Apple TV Plus, check out Season 1. I love it. Alien Earth, please be good. Please be good. Please be good. FXX, August 12th. Hulu next day. Please be good. I'm so mad that they're making this a TV show, but I'm just going to lean into it. Noah Hawley did really good with Legion, specifically for Season 1. Let's see how this goes. Butterfly is dropping on Prime Video August 13th. I don't think this is going to be that great, but I did like the trailer. Sausage Party, Foodtopia. Me and Roxy only made it 2 episodes, but Season 2 is dropping on Prime Video August 13th. I am excited about Season 2 of Peacemaker on HBO Max August 21st. Long story short is not Bobcat Goldthwait. The guy who did BoJack Horseman is coming out with a new show. It's going to be on Netflix August 21st. I'm pretty excited about it. Terminal List, Dark Wolf. Didn't finish Terminal List. I thought the action was pretty good. I just really have a hard time with serious Chris Pratt trying to make, like, I'm an action star. Nah, dude, you're a comedic front man. Just fucking stay in your lane. Not stay in your lane. Do what you want, Chris Pratt. Anyone do what you want. But I can't take him serious. I can, but I'm not really impressed. That's just me being truthful to my truth. But I'm more interested in this because it stars Taylor Kitsch, who is a good action guy. And Chris Pratt will be in this, and he also produced it. That's it, guys. Thus, why are we got about now concludes Popcorn Poppin' Season 2. Thank you all so much. The last 2 episodes, we were a little late, and we did have a week break in between, but I'm allowed to take breaks. And that's why I'm taking this next one. Make sure you guys check out Novocaine or Kid Rax on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Let me know what you're interested in that's coming out later this month. Suggest stuff to me, and I will watch it. I'll watch it. I'm trying to watch more like Criterion Closet shit. I'm trying to be a pretentious fuck, and I'm trying to make the show better. One note that I had was, you want more sketches. Well, the whole point of making Popcorn Poppin' was for me to do sketches. But the one thing that's difficult about this show is there's a lot of research that goes into it and a lot of clip editing. I don't even know if I'm going to do editing clips for this episode. It takes up a lot of my time, but even though I love films, I've always wanted to make stuff. So the only reason that I'm stopping this right now, but I will come back for Popcorn Spookin', is because Popcorn Spookin' isn't only going to be about reviews. It is going to be half reviews. Actually, it's going to be like 25% reviews. Nah, it'll be half reviews. We're going to do sketches leading up to a spooktacular. That's the plan. But it could honestly just be a spooktacular. Who knows? But we're going to do more sketches. Popcorn Poppin' is not just about reviewing movies anymore. It's a production company, and I want to bring you more original content. We got shit written. I got a music video coming out. I'm sorry. I am helping Novocaine make a music video. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully we won't butt heads too much. We got a short film coming out in December. There's a zombie TV show that the production company isn't going to make, but Popcorn Poppy is helping write, and you may see him in a scene or two. But next year, we might have a TV show. I'm not positive, but it's almost fully written. That's not zombie related. Sorry, I'm kind of just like for word vomiting. I'm just letting you guys know that review-wise, you might not see me for a while, but you will see more original content, and I'm excited to bring it to you. So thank you very much. Robin Floyd is the best person in the world, and I love her so much. Also, if you haven't yet, go to Jackie Wellman's Facebook. Wish her a happy belated birthday. Best mom in the world. She's out camping right now. I have to take care of her cats. I have to go feed them right now. Thanks for reminding me. All right. I'll see you on the couch. The couch.